Alrighty, guys, we are back. It's your boy EQ. And up next, we have DJ Akademiks calling cap on Gina views, and DJ Head saying Drake turned down the fade with Kendrick Lamar, calling it fake news. And Ak sure does like to act like he's in these rooms with these people. But given how Drake reacted to Ak calling into his stream with Aiden, we can all safely assume that they don't really talk much. Never truly know what to expect from him, the king of the crash out rants. You can definitely raise the risk factor exponentially when he's off the henny, which seems to be the norm with him. But we could all see that Drake was obviously nervous when he did call in. It looked like he did not want to talk to him at all, while Akademiks rambled on like the crazed fan he is. And as far as the turning down the fade claims, who knows, but I definitely won't take Ak's word for it. He seems to have gotten a lot of misinformation over the past year and a half, but we have seen Kendrick work the bags, and honestly Drake didn't seem too comfortable when the topic came up to potentially fighting Kendrick Lamar on Aiden's stream. But enough dilly-dallying, let's jump right into the video where we have DJ Akademiks calling cap on Gina views and DJ Head, saying Drake turned down the fade with Kendrick Lamar, calling it fake news. And given Drake's litigious nature, I'm pretty sure if a fade ever does actually happen, let's make sure contracts are signed and avoid getting that put in the lawsuit as well. But all jokes aside, Kendrick Lamar has no time for any of this stuff. The dude is busy making history.
Love that. But everybody's rewriting history to say,
Fam, you have been trying to revise history along with Drake since the start of the beef.
who cares if Kendrick called Drake a pedophile? Like, no, it ain't that serious. Well, do y'all niggas think that is that y'all same opinion on why that nigga killed Nipsey then? Because it's said in court documents.
Yeah, but those are street dudes, and no one ever confused Drake with being a street dude or upholding those standards. And Akademiks can't roll with that argument when Drake was the one that started the mudslinging. He was the one that threw those crazy allegations first of Kendrick Lamar being involved in DV and him not being the father of one of his children. And for a guy that calls himself a hip-hop journalist, the guy for sure doesn't know how rap beefs work. He's obviously just moving the goalposts, because if it had been Drake that was able to get his narratives to stick, obviously he wouldn't be singing this tune now.
Smoke Nipsey because Nipsey called him a snitch or question his paper, whatever the fuck you want to say. So what the fuck do y'all think? And I know some people, because y'all are so protective and y'all sensitive, y'all catch a period when Nipsey's name is mentioned. I get it. I love Nipsey. I have no problem. Let's call a spade a spade. I'm only bringing up Nipsey because I'm telling y'all, Nipsey got killed over him calling and labeling a man something that man objected to. And I think if I ask any reasonable person,
you literally have called people worse. Akademiks, you yourself have called people disgusting things on stream.
What would you rather be called? A snitch?
They've definitely
or
objected
a pedophile?
to it.
They probably all say snitch. The person who called a nigga a snitch, he's 6 feet deep. The person who called a nigga a pedophile, he's in stadiums chilling. And I want nothing to happen to Kendrick, just to be clear.
Yeah, you obviously have to walk a very careful line, and you have been instigating violence towards Kendrick Lamar with top 5 and a plethora of other people.
But if we're going to be honest about this, we can't say, oh, shit was nothing. Big deal. What Kendrick levied and accused is something that, if a matter of life, death, you, this outside confines, intent, and supposedly a battle.
But the thing is, not like Kendrick Lamar made these claims out of nowhere. They didn't just come out of thin. They have been in the big sphere for a very long time. He didn't go and doctor footage to make it look like Kendrick Lamar was acting inappropriate with a teen. That was Drake himself that did that. If you don't constantly give people the ammunition to use against you, then they have nothing to use against you. Everything that Kendrick Lamar said in those records were things that have been floating around for a very long time.
We should all acknowledge this. So please, Gina Views or whoever else, stop the cap. It is not just, oh, not a big deal. Just like if you say to anybody, I'm smoking on your dead mans, you shouldn't be surprised if they show up to shoot you. It's a big deal. If you can't accept that, you should stop with the sanitized rap version or rap battle that you're in. So I'll play what she's saying again, but my words still stand.
And it's easier for everybody to digest rather than it just being just so fucking serious.
Yeah. I agree with you. It did get serious for the homie. It got serious for him because it was like, oh, there's a boundary here and you cross the boundary.
Right.
And you have DJ Dick Sucker, right?
God. There we go again. How can you say any of this stuff and then call people out their name like that? Obviously, Akademiks is trying to defend Drake by whatever it means. Obviously, it's not working. But words definitely have consequences. Honestly, it's probably why Akademiks is relegated to his basement all the time. There's got to be at least 3 to 4 cities that the dude can't visit because of some of the things he said online. You can't be mad when something is used against you when you've given them that information. If you're out here saying wild things to teenagers, if you're texting teenagers about boys and stuff like that, don't be surprised if some of that stuff comes back to haunt you, like it obviously is.
He's saying that, well, Kendrick felt there was the boundaries got crossed. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
By the way, this ain't one-sided neither. Drake insinuating that man kids was by another man? Bro, somebody might want to knock your head off for that. Somebody might slap the shit out of you. I get that. I 100% get that. So I'm not trying to say only Kendrick crossed the line. Drake crossed the line too. So for everybody who's in the sanitized rap version, this is only sanitized and this doesn't end up like Youngin Ace and Julio with there's mad deaths because these niggas are up hundreds of millions of dollars.
Not only that, those rappers that he named are in the streets actively. That was never going to be the case with Drake and Kendrick Lamar, and it's crazy that Akademiks is saying all this stuff when he was instigating a lot of this stuff and highly enjoying and benefiting off the beef. So you can't now go and complain when that's how rap beefs work, man. Not the first time. Jay-Z literally had a bar about him ejecting bodily fluids on Nas's kid's car seat. And that's honestly one of the tamer lines in rap beef, which can indicate how crazy these rap beefs can get. These artists are literally shooting with the intent of doing the most damage to your character, your reputation, your brand, because that's how rap beefs have always worked.
They're very insulated and they're performing in arenas, not local clubs, where crash outs could go do some shit.
That's what I was trying to explain to Maul, and I told him that, like, if you tell me your earlobe is off limits, and I'll just fuck you earlobe, now I have to be okay with whatever comes with that. You can't tell me that I'm wrong for whatever come with that.
Because that's the one piece that's missing for public perception. So the public doesn't know that there was an internal conversation. They don't know that FaZe was asked for. I don't even know if I was supposed to say that. But whatever, it's on the motherfucking flow. Nigga didn't want to get him. Okay? So it's supposed to just be about rap. But this is the line that you do not cross. And if you cross that line, then it's...
Hey, you know the funny thing about this? I like the intermediary conversations because Kendrick ain't say nothing. I'll say this, and I'll speak for Drake. For one of the first and few times.
You can't speak for a dude that doesn't even want to speak to you, period, Akademiks.
Because if DJ had, I don't know if Gina Views was trying to speak for him, Drake down to catch a fade. What's up? Let's keep it on the internet, right? Could one of y'all respond on behalf of Dot? Is he down to catch a fade? I'm speaking for Drake now. He's down to catch a fade. Because what she just...
Highly doubt that. He was on Aiden's stream, and when that question came up, he nervously laughed.
...said is categorically false. Drake ain't never ducked no fade. Drake don't fuck with the nigga. Like, don't say things that you're just kind of throwing out because... And I understand because I'm a journalist too or not.
That's what he does literally every other week. I feel like every stream he's throwing out something out his ass.
Journalist, whatever you want to call me. But like y'all saying shit that's just not real.
Another thing, a journalist has credibility and integrity. A journalist has a responsibility to speak on facts, not just non-factual nonsense like having people on your stream that have claimed to bot for somebody only for it to be debunked 5 minutes later. Because a journalist with no credibility and integrity obviously is a journalist that cannot be trusted.
Oh, Drake ducking a fade from who? What? All right, so I'll speak for him. Yo, y'all want to catch a fade next week, the week after?
How many people have called you out for a fade and you haven't done shit? So the last thing you should do is be speaking on anybody about any type of fades.
We can line it up. He on tour. After tour, Drake, Kendrick, fade. I'm speaking. I'll put my name on the line. Drake down to catch a fade. What's up? DJ Head, since you've been so vocal and maybe Gina Views, one of y'all come back and tell me that, and then we could connect, and then we could set it up. So I'm speaking for him. And by the way, if Drake don't do it now, I'm pussy or I'm a liar. Because y'all niggas is capping at this point. What's up with the lies?
Both those things have been proven true.
Now, the reality of the matter is this, okay? I'm not going to deny a few things. Well, mainly one thing. And I'm not going to call Gina View all the way a liar, right? Because I think also DJ Dicksucker, he shares the same sentiment. The reality of it is this, and I spoke to the homie about it. Drake has had no conversation with Kendrick Lamar, with anybody who was around Kendrick Lamar in relation to any of these things since before. And I believe, matter of fact, hold on.
Drake really your homie? Because by this point, you would have thought he would have called into a stream to make you not look crazy in front of all these people and your biggest supporters. Because even his biggest supporters have been telling him that Drake is just using him and doesn't give two shits about him.
Hold on.
Drake is probably texting him right now like, yo, what are you getting me into?
First person shooter? Drake never talked directly to Dot. Drake wasn't talking to Dot. So y'all know the story, right? Drake was trying to get Kendrick on first person shooter. Kendrick had a tampon stuffed up his asshole. He felt some type of way and didn't like, oh, nah, I ain't really.
And this just proves my point again. It's really hard to take you seriously when you say words have consequences and that could lead to problems, and you be one of the biggest perpetrators of doing it.
They want to do it because me and you, blah, blah, blah. You know, you've been jealous of Drake for that long. Okay, cool. Then he hears the song and he's like, yo, y'all take.
I don't think he's jealous. I just think he's competitive.
He has to me because I didn't get on the record, and that's why you realize that's why he did like that, right? Fuck the big three is just big me, right? Because he felt like they were almost kind of championing it like it was a 1-2 combo, like he was number 3, which I keep telling y'all, the real culprit in all this is really J. Cole, because Drake ain't never been number 2 and never been number 3. We never talk about Drake being number 3, but Kendrick was in his feelings like a girl.
You should be the last one saying that anyone is in their feelings. You literally rant to the point of crying in defense of a person that doesn't care about you one bit.
First-person shooter that he was not trying to get on. They tried to get the nigga on the song. The nigga was hating for 10 years. Just walking around mad as fuck, like, talking about he got some secret song. Like, what you talking about, gang?
It's really hard to argue that Kendrick Lamar is angry at Drake because he isn't him. At the end of the day, Kendrick Lamar is one of the most successful artists, period. Not just rappers. The dude already had 18 Grammys before this last year. Added another 7. I don't think there's jealousy there. I just think it's hyper competitiveness. He showed that on the Control verse. He's willing to rap against anybody. And obviously he set his eyes on the biggest fish, which was Drake. And competition has always been one of the pillars of hip hop. And usually it brings out the best in people's music. Akademiks, you're trying to tear down Kendrick Lamar when Drake was doing even worse to Meek Mill. So all this definitely reeks of hypocrisy.
So he hears the song. He feels they taking shots at him.
I don't think so.
So this is what I'll say. And I like a sources battle. I did this with Elliot Wilson. He tapped out. I could tell he was just like, I'm down to do it with DJ Head or DJ Dick Sucker, whatever you want to call him. Gina views, you're a woman. We're not going to.
Akademiks, you literally deserve all the hate you get. And your behavior makes it super impossible for anybody to have any type of sympathy for you. Talk about these people in such a vile way and still try to make the arguments you do, man. It's definitely lunacy.
I'm going to say nothing negative about you. You're on a show with this dweeb. It's all good.
You're the biggest dweeb in hip hop.
If this is how y'all carrying it to me.
Close race between you and Drake right now.
I'm telling y'all, Drake down to catch a fade. Y'all just tell me if Kendrick down to catch a fade, then we can set it up. That would be great. I would love if the media could set up. No more arguments because they're not going to rap again. Just get them to squabble. Let's see who ducks then, right? And now we could both be in a conversation and see who ducks. I'd love to see it. Secondly, this idea that Kendrick offered Drake a squabble and he turned it down is absolutely false. And speaking to the man himself, he hasn't talked to Kendrick even in the era where he was trying to get Kendrick on the song First Person Shooter.
The thing is, if you have any type of sensitive information that you don't want to get leaked out, the last person you're going to tell is DJ Akademiks, because the dude is probably one of the biggest chatty patties. And if you're telling him anything, you're doing it with the full knowledge that this guy can't hold water, let alone a secret. Drake seems to only use this guy when he's trying to push out a narrative or trying to put something out to as many people as possible. Other than that, I feel like Drake doesn't want to talk to this dude at all.
So if he hasn't talked to him then, how the fuck did he turn down a squabble?
He doesn't need to say it himself. I bet you there's plenty of mutual associates that will get that word out there.
Now, I know someone might be saying, well, there's these intermediaries. So you saying you can't holler at the nigga directly? Okay, well, this is your chance. Fuck what everybody else got going on.
He said enough directly to him on record.
I'll get y'all niggas on the phone. So, print this, press this, I don't care where this goes. Drake never turned out no damn fade with a nigga.
The last person Drake wants to speak on his behalf is DJ Akademiks, which is probably why he's not showing up on stream, not calling this guy while he's on stream, and only speaking to him when he wants something out there. This guy is quite possibly the worst cheerleader you could have. And the last thing Kendrick Lamar is thinking right now is having a fade or any type of physical altercation with anyone. The dude is literally having one of the most historic runs in music. Just this year alone, which we're already, almost 6 months into it, he's already had a legendary night at the Grammys, sweeping all his nominations. He pulled off the most watched Super Bowl halftime show in history. And now Kendrick Lamar is embarking on a tour that's probably going to shatter every record. It's definitely going to be the highest grossing hip hop tour ever. And that's pretty much inevitable at this moment. That stadium tour is literally grossing like 11 to 12 million every show. The dude is doing some unprecedented stuff, especially for a rapper. I just saw some pictures earlier today of him heading to the studio over in New York. So more than likely he's working on another album, which is obviously going to be epic because the dude doesn't miss. Even Akademiks himself, the biggest hater in the game, has been seen on footage talking about how all of Kendrick Lamar's albums are classic. So even he deep down knows what it is. Drake was already asked about this potential fade, and obviously, like I said earlier, the dude nervously laughed it off, followed by a very deep sigh and very long sip from his cup, which is body language that tells us all we need to know. Who knows if this fade offer is even true, but at the end of the day, the last person's word I'm going to take on all this is Akademiks, who has already been proven to put out misinformation, even if it's unknowingly. And this guy can't make any arguments without being vile and despicable. But definitely let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that Kendrick Lamar ever offered Drake the fade? And if Kendrick actually did, who do you guys think would win? At the end of the day, I feel like Kendrick Lamar has a lot more to worry about than a fade with anyone. Like I said, the dude is having a monster run, and it's continuing, guys. He has not slowed down one bit. All the footage that has been coming out from these stadium shows are definitely epic, and I know a lot of the Drake stans are having a hard time coping with the fact that, yeah, man, it looks like there's a lot of bots in there. I feel like at this point, I've had tons of comments of people saying that they went to the tour and that it was amazing. And honestly, that's definitely what I expected, especially coming from somebody like Kendrick Lamar, who has seemed to have gotten even better as a performer, which is crazy. But definitely let me know what you guys think. Definitely hit the like and subscribe button, guys. It does the channel wonders. And I am so thankful for all the love and support you guys continue to show the channel on a daily. I definitely also want to thank those that have become members of the channel. You guys are so amazing, and I'm so excited for this community and how it's growing. So definitely hit the join button and become a member. And also, guys, I have activated the Discord. It is now online. I'm also thankful for all those that have joined. It's definitely going to be a cool hub for all things Joey QTV, where the community will keep the discussion going. And guys, definitely feel free to throw in any suggestions in there as well. Who knows, we might make a reaction out of it. I'm definitely looking forward to what you guys have to say on this topic, even though I'm pretty sure I know what you guys are thinking already. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I hope you guys love this video, and I hope to see you guys soon. Academic rants like this are the reason why people have no sympathy for you, man. And I'm pretty sure your girl being in South Beach with another dude ain't helping. That makes sense, though.